And welcome back. Now, the City of Johannesburg says that residents should not panic over Rand Water's 54-hour shutdown, which starts today. But for communities in high-lying areas, the city has also explained that they may experience lower pressure. And our reporter Hasina Gori is at the headquarters of Rand Water in Glenvista to get more clarity on this matter. And we cross over now to Hasina, who is with a guest there to give us some of the details that we require. Hasina, good morning. Over to you.
Good morning. Yes, a water supply shortage is looming here in the city of Johannesburg as Rand Water, the bulk water services, is planning a 2-day maintenance plan here. What they're trying to do is putting a new valve which would help us in the future, bring in more water into the city of Johannesburg as well as other areas. But it might cause some short-term issues. But to get some clarification on how it might impact residents in Johannesburg is with me the spokesperson of Rand Water, Justice Mohale. Good morning and thank you for speaking to us. So residents in Johannesburg are a bit concerned. It's Monday morning and they've heard that Rand Water switching off or putting off supply for 54 hours and they're thinking their taps are going to run dry. Is that true and what can they expect?
Rand Water has two water purification plants. We have Zekerbosch, which is the biggest one. It's not in any way going to be affected by today's project. We have another one called Vereeniging Water Purification Plant. That one, it's going to be partially functional because we are going to install a valve between a newly laid pipeline, which is B19, and the existing pipeline, which is B11. The aim for this new pipeline is to augment the supply of raw water into our network as the demand is ever increasing.
We know that this does not mean that the waters are going to run dry, but what exactly is going to happen for water supply in the next 2 days?
What we will be doing will be installing that valve, but we are still going to be purifying. As I'm saying, even in the station that we are going to make those connections, water will be purified partially there. That station, the one that's going to be affected, on daily basis it purifies 1,300 megaliters of water. We are just going to take only 600 megaliters. So which means it will be partially functioning, and people must not be concerned or must not be scared and start stocking water, because that is going to drain our system. And if our system is completely drained, it's going to take some days before we raise the water levels again.
We know the city of Johannesburg, is one of those areas that does have water issues. And one of the concerns or one of the things that made it worse was infrastructure. Is there some of the plans by Rand Water to update the infrastructure to ensure that we keep getting water into the city?
Definitely, we had. And the demand for water usage, it's ever increasing, and which is why I'm saying this new pipeline that we are going to connect to today has been in progress in the past 2 years. We have recently completed it, and the pipeline is worth 600 million rand. It's a major investment in this, and as I'm saying, we want to augment the supply of raw water into our system, since as we say, the demand is ever increasing.
We know it's not just Gauteng that's going to be affected. Which other areas may be affected by the shutdown that's planned?
Outside of Gauteng, we have Metsimaholo municipality, which is going to be affected and we also have Rustenburg, which is outside of Gauteng.
Thank you so much. That was Justice Mohale speaking to us on the impact that's expected to happen, with the plan shutdown of water at one of the purification plants by Rand Water. So it's a Vereeniging one. You heard from him that he's told residents of Johannesburg not to panic, not to be scared, and not to stock up, because this is going to put more impact on the system. What we do know is that the Verenigen purification plant, which usually puts in 1,300 megawatts of water, is going to be purifying half of that. So there will be less pressure in some areas, but there will be water in the taps. It's a developing story, but we'll keep you updated. For now, back to you in studio.
Well, thank you so much to Hasina Gori there for some details on the water interruptions that are expected in Gauteng. It would seem as though the plan is watertight in terms of mitigating some of the effects there. All right, let's cross over now to the